Hi, happy holidays, everybody. This is Meredith Lego, and my entire YouTube channel is around the concept of ascension science and the expansion of consciousness. And through this process, I have been sharing a lot of wisdoms or learnings that I've been able to get by channeling with extra dimensional beings who are just at a different frequency of consciousness. And I'm able to tap into, again, some of the wisdoms that they're sharing about essentially how you can expand your consciousness and help with your own sort of ascension of consciousness process. In this particular video, I'm going to be sharing a channeling with an ascended master named Hilarion. And this entire video gets into one of the kind of natural laws around cause and effect. And I really asked him the question, please describe the law of cause and effect, because I was just more interested in getting his how he would respond to it. And I can't even remember what was going on at the time. There was something going on in the news I think I was listening to, but it prompted this particular question for me to want to get his perspective on. So his answer is, this law is simplistic in nature in that energies displayed from a being are mirrored back to the originator. It is the mirroring effect of thoughts, emotions, and actions. In your 3D reality, the gap of time was slowed down, allowing you to process the lessons of a cause and its resulting effect back to you. However, because of the process of time, sometimes the gap between the cause and the effect are long, and it results in a being not connecting the dots of what the original cause was. In your 3D reality, your scientist Newton observed that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This is the law, and it works no other way. Unfortunately, some beings work to control humans through by taking advantage of your naivety of the law. As the law of nature is very similar to gravity or thermodynamics. And I don't think I typed that sentence out quite well when I was typing it up after my written notes. But I think what he was essentially saying is that if you kind of think about this law, he's basically saying it's a natural law. So in other words, you can think of gravity or thermodynamics as other natural laws. So it's part of the entire universe that we live in, I guess you could say, the kind of holographic construct that we exist in. It is what it is. And what he's saying is that, oftentimes we as humans might understand or might have learned about the concept in school through Newton of cause and effect. So we might see how that plays out in science, or with, let's say, dropping a ball and then it kind of bounces up. But oftentimes we're not necessarily taught in school about the energetic exchange of energies and the cause and effect that creates. I think, some of us might think it's kind of obvious, like if you get into a fight, there can be a reaction back on something like that. But we don't think about it as being an automatic law of nature that you're exchanging energies and it will cycle back to you. The time gap, what he's basically saying is that sometimes we don't connect the dots on things that happen back to us, because the time between the cause and the effect of whatever is going to energetically happen afterwards, sometimes that gap can be so long that you don't connect the dots on what the original cause was. Now what he's saying is that kind of going back to the world that we live in right now, there are beings who in some ways have an easy time. I guess they're non-human beings that have an easy time to control humans and take advantage of their naivety of understanding around this law. So if you don't realize that your thoughts, your actions, your emotions, even your thoughts can have a cause and exchange reaction. If you don't have that understanding, and others do, let's say other beings that might have this understanding do have, know about it. What he's implying is that we as a species have been manipulated essentially based upon our naive, because we've been naive to our understanding about this very natural law. He goes on to say that as such, these beings who work to control humans to oftentimes get others to accomplish or manifest their agenda, and in the process they shift the cause and effect of energies to others over history. So in other words, they know this law, they know that this law exists, and there's no getting around this law because it's a natural law. So therefore, if you don't want to have the experience of your kind of cause and then effect back, essentially you can shift the having somebody execute something for you so that you don't have to have the sort of the effect of what you might want to do. So he goes on to say that many have been trapped into an unbalanced energy exchange because they were not aware of this law and allowed fear to control their actions. So examples are soldiers killing for others, or humans manipulated through mind control tactics to assassinate others. So the key is to know this is a law of nature, just like gravity. So I think that's really important, is that knowing that this is kind of an exchange of energy, and it will happen. You got to think through what type of energy you want to be giving out to have something mirrored back to you, essentially. So what he's kind of going on to say here in this situation is that because humans were naive to this as being a law of nature. I mean, we again have learned about it from Newton scientifically, but it goes on to again. Even a thought can have an energetic exchange come back. So you may not think about that, but that's something that I've been coached on, constantly over the last, call it 4 years or so, by Hilarion, is that, there's a lot of individuals who essentially have very unbalanced energy exchanges. So they might be doing the bidding unwittingly or unknowingly or naively for other beings who are manipulating the knowledge, basically that I'm going to have them do this and enact this, and it won't come back on me, essentially. So he says that as a result, consider what exchange of energy or frequency you want in your life and intend and act accordingly. Be aware of the mirror and don't allow anyone to hijack your sovereignty by implementing their agenda. Be true to you. So I think that was a very important lesson. So in the early days of some of the videos that I've done one on mirroring, and I'll try and include that in the comment section. But that's very much about just controlling your own thoughts and frequencies and your emotions and your actions. So let's take the fight situation. So one kind of obvious situation of sort of a fight is that somebody can yell, but the other person can choose not to yell back, right? They can choose a different path. They can choose a different heartfelt reaction, or just choose to walk away, basically. But I think what they're also saying is that knowing that this is a law, just be wary and don't fall sort of victim, I guess you could say, to executing the cause reaction loop on behalf of another being. And I see lots of situations where this is played out. Sometimes now that I, have learned about this, am going to be more wary, I guess you could say, or more thoughtful about anytime somebody is asking me to do something that just doesn't resonate with my inner being. If that, with my inner feelings, if it just doesn't feel good in the gut, that means that it's probably something that's not being true to myself, and could create a cause reaction situation that I didn't even want to do in the first place. So that's essentially something to consider, for your future kind of course of life. So with that, I hope that this is added to your knowledge of Ascension science, because obviously you want to have very strong frequencies and you want to be able to control them, essentially going forward. And if you're new to the channel, I encourage you to sign up if you resonated with this content and give the video a thumbs up. And with that, we will see you in future videos. Thanks a lot. Bye.